Hello everybody, welcome to another video with yours truly, Louie. Heather is cooking back there. She's making some coffee cakes, so try your best to ignore her. I want to talk a little bit about my Blundstones, boots. So the last video I did was an unboxing of these Blundstones, my very first pair of Blundstones. And today I wanted to basically review it. And don't come back! So today I wanted to talk about my Blundstones. I wanted to do a little review on them. The last video I did on them was basically an unboxing. So today I've had them for about 2 to 3 months, and I kind of wanted to review them. I wanted it to basically rate them in different settings and just talk a little bit about my relationship with boots, material possessions, minimalism, and why I decided to go with just Blundstones. It all started when I was a young man, just exploring different types of fashion. Growing up, all I wore were sneakers, Vans, Nike, Adidas, K-Swiss. I was always interested in, boots. I was always interested in like the formal, the casual, the rugged type work boot, work shoe, dress shoe. But I was too scared. I was too scared to like venture out of my comfort zone, which are just sneakers. Eventually, I was able to start trying, different types of work shoes. Usually, I would buy pairs from whatever retail store I was working at the time, whether it was at Sears or Sears or Target. Honestly, they were all terrible. Cheap. They were like $50 to $70. And they were always too bulky, too tight. It was just not the right fit. The quality was off. It wasn't durable. But eventually somebody told me about Doc Martens. I looked into them, but they were like freaking almost $200, and I couldn't afford that when I was a kid. When I finally got a real job, I was able to make more money, and then I got my first pair of Oxford Doc Martens. They were amazing. They lasted me for years until one day I decided to skate in them and fall off and, fuck up my Doc Martens. Decided to get some more Doc Martens. I have about 5 pairs now. Completely unnecessary. So the reason why I am parting ways with Doc Martens is because of a couple of reasons. One, they're not built to be waterproof. They are a little bit water resistant, but for many years, I've walked in heavy rain and I've gone in puddles and I've come out of them with drenched ass socks. And nobody likes wet feet when they get home. Another reason is that the soles are not repairable. They're missing what's called a Goodyear welt, and you need a Goodyear welt to repair the soles, for any shoe repair to repair the soles easily. Another reason is that it's missing a shank. A shank is basically a strip of metal or wood that goes into work boots, so that makes it a lot more sturdy, especially when there's weight put on, that shoe. It just adds to like the structure and sturdiness of that boot. Another reason is because basically all kids are wearing them now. Like all teenagers, toddlers, high schoolers are all wearing Doc Martens. I might be sounding very hypocritical, but I don't want to wear what kids are wearing. It's the same as wearing sneakers or shoes that light up and squeak as a grown-up adult. I don't want to, it's probably a terrible analogy, but I don't want to be wearing what kids are wearing. And don't get me wrong, I love Doc Martens. I love how many styles they have. I love the colors and everything. They just have so many different options, and I love it. I'll even be keeping at least one pair of Doc Martens. It's my favorite pair ever. I'm gonna be wearing this for life. My favorite cherry reds. I forgot the style number, but I'm gonna be keeping this forever. But everything else, I'm donating because it's just, I don't want to have so many boots, so many Doc Martens. I just need one pair of boots. Perfect for any sort of situation, whether it's going to work, walk in the snow or in the rain, or skating, or fighting some zombies, anything. So why Blundstones? So I was in the middle of researching new boots that had good brand presence, was sustainable, was high in quality. And I came across a YouTuber named Levi Hildebrand. And if you don't know who he is, he basically talks about sustainable, high quality products. And he talked about Blundstones. It's probably not worth noting, but in that original video, the boots that he was talking about, his boots were not Blundstones because they were missing those iconic pull tabs on the front and the back. I mean, no hate to him, but it was just funny. Either way, he convinced me to get my own pair of Blundstones. And the first pair that I got was some black Blundstones in the dress style. It's worth noting that finding a retailer that sells Blundstones in Los Angeles is extremely difficult, especially during the pandemic in 2020. I did some research and I found out that the local REIs had some Blundstones, and I went there, but their selection was very limited. It had the original Blundstones with the bulbous toe box, and I didn't want that. I wanted specifically the dress style, because during my research, I realized that the dress style, the chiseled toe, was much more versatile than the original style. Anyways, I went to the REI just to find the right fit because the Blundstones are in Australian sizes. I usually wear a 10.5 in US. In Doc Martens, I wear a size 10. And I figured that the same in Blundstones in Australian sizing. Turns out that's not the case, so I highly recommend that you go to a retailer that sells some Blundstones and kind of find out what the right fit is. I found out that the right fit for me in Australian sizing for Blundstones was size 9. You'll have to excuse the sudden change of lighting because basically the sun set and I had to turn on some lights, so the lighting might be a little bit off. And the first pair that I ordered were black Blundstones, and I had to order it online on the Blundstones website. It took about 2 to 3 weeks to get to me. I loved it. The only problem was it was really boring. I don't like, all black shoes. It's just kind of a boring thing. So I decided to return them and get some Redwood Blundstones. And it kind of matches my cherry reds. So I think it's perfect. I've pretty much worn them every single day and I love them. When I first got them for about a week or two, holy shit, it was painful. It's weird because my left foot is a little bit bigger than my right foot for whatever reason, and the heel portion was really tough. It was pinching basically. But after 2 weeks, after wearing like 3 layers of socks, I was able to basically break the boots in, and now they're just amazing. You just have to get past that breaking point or that breaking in period. That's why sizing is extremely important. Maybe for comfortability, you might want to size up. I like a bit of a snug fit on my boots, and if I sized up anymore, I wouldn't like the fit. I do recommend wearing big and thick socks for that first 2 weeks so that you can stretch and break that leather in. Another point regarding Doc Martens and why I decided to part ways with it is because of the uncomfortability. After years of wearing Doc Martens, I realized that it was weirdly hurting my knees and my feet were just hurting all the time. Like I would wear them for hours for every single day, and like my feet just felt in pain after wearing them like an entire day. So after I finally broke in those pair of Blundstones, I walked in them, I did everything in them. Holy shit, they are extremely comfortable. I don't know what it is, but they're way more comfortable than doing the same in Doc Martens. Maybe it's because of the type of sole, maybe the fact that it's missing a shank. I don't know. The Blundstones have a bed of foam right where the heel is. Maybe the sole is softer. I don't know, but when I wear Blundstones compared to Doc Martens all day, my foot doesn't cramp, my back doesn't hurt, my knees don't hurt. I don't feel like I'm in pain at the end of the day. Another minor thing I wanted to test the Blundstones on was skating. I know that sounds really dumb. Sometimes I skate to work. Sometimes I commute by skateboard to work because I have a boosted board. I wore my Doc Martens when I skated to work. It's just extremely scary because when I skateboard to work, I go really fast. I go like really fast. I go 20 miles per hour. That's how fast the boosted board goes. And if you're going that fast, you need to feel connected to your board. You need to feel the board underneath you. And with Doc Martens, it's really hard to do that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the sole itself. Maybe it's just, I can't feel the board with these on. However, when I took the Blundstones skating, I felt the board. I was much more comfortable with the board. I could feel the board. I felt comfortable doing crazy maneuvers, doing tight turns, and I felt much more safer with my Blundstones. One of the more important reasons that I decided to convert from Doc Martens to Blundstones is because of the waterproof ability. When my Blundstones finally came in the mail, 2 days after, it started raining heavily for the first time in many months in Los Angeles, and it was a great opportunity to test out the Blundstones, especially since it hasn't been fully broken in yet. The leather wasn't compromised or anything. It was basically in factory condition. So it was the perfect time to test out the Blundstones. So I took it out. I decided to walk all the way to work and back in the heavy rain. I jumped in lots of puddles. When I got home, unfortunately, my socks were drenched. Well, not drenched. It was just like the toes, but while these are not marketed as waterproof, they are water resistant. So after doing some research online, of course, no matter how water resistant these boots are, if you drench leather enough, water will seep through. That's what I've been told. So maybe next time when it rains heavily, I should treat them with some oils and whatnot to make them a little bit more waterproof. Either way, they were still extremely comfortable to walk in. I wouldn't trust anything else but my Blundstones. I wouldn't trust Doc Martens to walk to and from home in heavy rain. It's just a much less painful, much less wet option. Another aspect is warmth. So warmth and breathability, I guess. My feet, surprisingly, I've just noticed that my feet get really cold, especially in the office. And I kind of wanted a boot that had better insulation, I guess. And I figured that, because Doc Martens were not waterproof or water resistant, it was keeping my feet like cold. The ventilation was too good. I don't know. Maybe this is a really stupid pseudoscience, but I figured because it wasn't water, proof or whatever, my feet was much more colder. Blundstones, I've tested it out and it does an all right job keeping them warm, even though they are much more water resistant than Doc Martens. They keep it, just adequately warm. You definitely need warm socks to go with it. Also, you can get these sheepskin insoles. Maybe that will solve the problem, but my boots are already tight as it is. I don't think getting thicker insoles would be a very comfortable option. So that will conclude today's video. I am very much in love with my Blundstones, and if you do get the chance to try these on, I suggest that you do get your own pair of Blundstones. If you do have a crazy amount of boots like I did, consider just getting one boot that is perfect for all different types of scenarios. One thing that I forgot to mention is that one of the downsides of the Blundstones, like the Doc Martens, the sole is not repairable. It's not replaceable. They're missing that Goodyear welt as well. And if you wear those down, you're going to have to get a new pair of Blundstones. But I'm very excited to have my pair of Blundstones. I'm going to be keeping it for the rest of my life. I don't think I'm going to have to buy a new pair of Blundstones in my lifetime. I'm not going to be doing some crazy shit with it unless I step on a pool of magma or something. In that case, my feet are going to burn off. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.